Well, this is a tough one. And we just were making a little tour of the area. It's hard to believe the devastation. Trees that are 100 years old just ripped out of the ground. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen a lot of bad ones. I've gone to a lot of hurricanes, a lot of tornadoes. I've never seen anything like this. This is a bad one. We just visited with incredible families that, look, they've been devastated. They lost their child or two children, and just hard to believe what, I've never seen anything like it. A little narrow river that becomes a monster, and that's what happened. But the First Lady and I are here in Texas to express the love and support and the anguish of our entire nation in the aftermath of this really horrific and deadly flood. Nobody has any idea how and why a thing like this could happen. It's, and by the way, I have to tell you, the people here, first responders, the sheriff's office, all of the police, law enforcement, they've done an unbelievable job. And in speaking to the parents, they said everybody has been so professional, from the governor to the senators, all the way down to the local people on the site that really are a little bit used to this. But they've been looking at this for years, but in much smaller doses, much smaller doses. 12 years ago, and then in 1932, they had a real bad one, but that bad one was half of what this was. But I was speaking to some of the great people in the town, and they said, no, every year we get a little bit, but it was like a little bit of a flood, right? You were telling me, and it was just a flood. We got used to it. We had people, and we took care of it, and this year it was like, what's going on, right? So all across the country, Americans' hearts are shattered. I had to be here as president. First Lady wanted to be here. All the beautiful souls, and we're filled with grief and devastation. It's the loss of life, and unfortunately, they're still looking. They're still looking. There's a lot of missing children, possibly, mostly, we don't know, but they're still looking, and they'll find everybody, but it's not an easy thing. You would think it would be easy. It's very tough. I looked at what they're going through, what they have to do, but dozens and dozens of precious children taken from us with such, I looked at the pictures of almost all of them, and it's terrible. Following a torrential downpour, the worst that anyone's ever seen, Guadalupe River rose 26 feet in less than 45 minutes, and I've even heard it went well over 30 feet. There's one story that one person said it had to be 60 feet at one moment. This is like a giant wave in the Pacific Ocean that the best surfers in the world would be afraid to surf. And it unleashed a catastrophic flooding as most residents were asleep in their beds. A very dark evening. The waters claimed at least 135, 140 lives. They're getting that count, but the count that they don't have is how many are still missing. But a lot of lives, a lot of young angels. At the Girls Christian Summer Camp, known as Camp Mystic, a legendary camp, a camp that people would want to go to from all over the country. People, parents, they come and they would stay with their children. They'd stay in other cabins just to be with their children, but a legendary place. They were there because they loved God, and as we grieve this unthinkable tragedy, we take comfort in the knowledge that God has welcomed those little beautiful girls into his comforting arms in heaven. And we believe that, have to believe that, and we do. And we lost some wonderful people beyond the little girls. We lost some very brave men and women that tried to save the girls. As our nation, we mourn for every single life that was swept away in the flood, and we pray for the families that are left behind. It's amazing the the incredible spirit from those families, I don't know. I don't even know how they do it. But moments ago, Melania and I spent a lot of time with them. That's why we're a little late. I think this was a good reason to be late, frankly. And we just gave our warmest condolences. But you say to yourself, you know, how do you give condolences? How do you do that to a young person that 3 days ago was here, 4 days ago was here and vibrant, and now is no longer here? The search for the missing continues. The people that are doing it are unbelievable people. That you couldn't get better people than this anywhere, Christy, right? Anywhere in the world, you couldn't get better people. And they're doing the job like I don't think anybody else could, frankly. And I want to thank them. I want to thank all of these great first responders who raced into very grave danger. We have some people that were incredible. The single Coast Guard rescue crew saved an incredible 169 children at Camp Mystic, 169. And the camp staff was also incredibly courageous. Are those Coast Guard people around here someplace? Because I hear some incredible people. And I actually, Scott Ruskin, is he around? Where's Scott?
He's not here right now, sir, but he will be here later, and I will be
okay. Will you let him know?
With some,
and John Dunn, the owner of the Hunt store, was a flood. Where are you? Okay, good. We spoke a little while ago, and it sort of, John was telling me some stories about that store, and it was just really amazing.
Yes, Mr. President. First, let me correct. I was owner of the Hunt store from 2013 till April of last year, where I actually sold the store to Haley and BB Lehrman, who are excellent operators, and they're on the ground right now in Hunt, leading the effort there together with the fire department, the churches, the schools, what have you. And they're doing a phenomenal job.
Good job.
My role in it is I had seller finance the deal. And
you're going to bring it back?
I'm absolutely going to bring it back.
And the walls are up, the two walls are up, and you're going to...
There's belief out there that it was a total loss. It's not. A gentleman by the name of Larry Graham put up some incredible walls in 1973, and he's a great engineer, and those walls are still standing.
Save the walls.
Save the walls.
Okay.
And the goal is, and I think we can get it done between Haley, BB, myself, and some outside help that we're going to be getting. I think we're going to get it reopened very quickly.
Good.
I think it's important to get it open quickly because once we do, the community can get back to a sense of normalcy. I think it'll be good for the community. I think it'll accelerate the recovery process. There's a lot that has to be done, but I'm impressed and very pleased with the resources that I think are going to become available through the conversations with Chip Roy, Governor Abbott's office, and others. Good. That we will get it done quickly. Yes, sir.
Thanks, John. Good luck with it. Okay, I'm sure you will. The search for the missing is continuing, as you know, and today I especially want to thank all of these incredible people from the Coast Guard, and you'll give my regards in particular to some of the people we mentioned. Every American should be inspired by what's taken place during this short period of time, and I want to thank Governor Abbott. He's an amazing guy. We come very, very close politically and personally, and we've had a tremendous relationship with Texas. I guess Texas brought us together. We were together fine, but now we're together a lot more, and I want to thank Cecilia, your great wife, who's been our friend for a long time. The job you do is really incredible in so many different ways, including with the border and every different way. Admired by everybody. Secretaries, Christino, Brooke Rollins, Scott Turner, and Administrator Kelly Loeffler, they all wanted to be here. Some of them hopped on the plane with me. Senators John Cornyn and Ted Cruz, you're here among us. And thank you very much. Our great Lieutenant Governor, I see you sitting there. I don't know if they even have your name down, but when I'm here, your name is down, right? He's doing a good job, always did. Always did. Also, numerous members of Congress, including Chip Roy from the district. This is Chip's district. I had a lot of time last week we spent with Chip Roy getting that great, big, beautiful bill passed. And who would have thought, and he's not easy, but he's good. Where is he? Where's Chip? Who would have thought this was going to happen? And he called because we had a big ceremony set up, and he said, you know, we have a little bit of a flood here, and I think it's going to be a little bit, I better stay here. I better not come back and go to it. And he wanted to be there. He was a part of it, a big part of it. And then he called again, and he said, this is bad. And then it got really bad, far beyond your worst, wildest imagination, right? So thank you very much, Chip. I appreciate it. And Brian Babin also is, I don't know if Brian's here. But we do have, and I have to just give some of the names because it's very unusual. Nathaniel Moran, Dan Crenshaw, all of these people wanted to be here. Keith Self, Jake Elzey, August Pfluger, Craig Goldman, Ronnie Jackson. Where are you people? Are you here? You're all here? Where's Ronnie Jackson? Ronnie Jackson, what a person. Every one of these people is so incredible. Randy Weber, Pete Sessions, Tony Gonzalez. Well, we have everybody. Beth Van Dyne. Hi, Beth. Hi, Beth. Roger Williams. Brandon Gill. Hi, Roger. Brandon, you're here? Yes. Thanks, Brandon. Doing a good job, Brandon. Michael Cloud. John Carter. And Wesley Hunt. And we have others, but I'm not, we have to get on with it. But I did want to ask Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. He's been my friend from the beginning. He's been the chairman of all three of my campaigns, and all I know is we won by record amounts. So I guess you were a pretty good chairman, right, Dan? And his son is fantastic, too. But Attorney General Ken Paxton. Ken's around here someplace. Hi, Ken. Hi. And Director of the Texas Department of Public Safety, Freeman Martin. Freeman, thank you very much. You're doing an amazing job. Texas Chief of Emergency Management, Nim Kidd. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for greeting us, too. Major General Thomas Seltzer of the Texas Military Department. Thomas, great job. Thank you. Really good job. And many other officials and government, everybody is here. You know, it's amazing. I do these things, and often you just don't have a turnout like this. Half of government is here, but my administration is doing everything in its power to help Texas, and I can tell you that, and the governor will be the first to tell you that when the request was made for the emergency funds, Christy, I think we gave it within about 2 minutes, maybe less. And they had everything they needed, right? Immediately. So we've deployed over 400 first responders and assisted or enabled more than 1,500 rescues. Amazing, 1,500. Customs and Border Protection and the U.S. Coast Guard have deployed numerous search and rescue crews, and they're all over the territory, and trauma teams. And beyond this area, you know, the governor was saying we've gone a little bit beyond this area. Oh, there's Dr. Phil. Look at Dr. Phil. You're looking good, Phil. This is a hell of a situation, isn't it, huh? FEMA has deployed multiple emergency response units, and FEMA has been really headed by some very good people. We have some good people running FEMA. It's about time, right? We get some good ones. They failed us in North Carolina, but when we got in on January 20th, they fixed it up in no time. And the Army Corps of Engineers is always around and always strong and brilliant. We're also taking historic action to ensure that such a nightmare never happens again. We're going to look and see how can a thing like this, they could say it's 100-year. Somebody said it's a 500-year event. It doesn't. We're not going to let a thing like this happen again where it can wreak this kind of devastation. Earlier this year, I directed a sweeping review of the preparedness and critical infrastructure. I think, again, I have to say, whenever I say that, I have to say that the level of professionalism was incredible. But we'll all work together to find out exactly what can be done, because they do want to rebuild, and they're going to. I just want to say we have a wonderful First Lady, and she's done a great job as First Lady, and she really, very special woman when she saw and met the people that we met just a little while ago. It's very devastating. And would you like to say a few words, honey?
My deepest sympathy to all of the parents who lost beautiful young souls. Deepest sympathy from all of us to the community, to everybody who lost a loved one. We are grieving with you. Our nation is grieving with you. We just met with the wonderful families. We pray with them. We hug. We hold hands. They share the stories, and I met beautiful young ladies. They gave me this special bracelet from the camp in honor of all of the little girls that they lost their lives. So we are here to honor them and also to give the support, help, and I will be back. I promise to them, and I just pray for them and giving them my strength and love.
Thank you, honey. It's very nice. Thank you very much. So I just want to say God bless you all, and I'd like to ask Governor Abbott to say a few words, please. Thank you.
Well, first of all, thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, First Lady. The first thing both of you mentioned were the lives that were affected by this. Whenever there's a disaster or catastrophe, the first thing we focus on is saving lives, prioritizing those lives. Every minute, every hour counts, and that's what Chief Nim Kidd focused on, what the local officials focused on, what the state focused on, but also what your administration did. On the very day of the flood, you know, the Coast Guard literally saving lives right and left, and we cannot thank you enough for deploying the Coast Guard, deploying the resources, and as you pointed out, immediately, when I made a request for a disaster declaration, you and your administration granted that. This is the fastest that I'm aware of any administration responding so swiftly, so collaboratively, so coordinated as we have in response to this. Thank you for that major disaster declaration. It ensures that we're going to be able to more effectively respond and help rebuild. And let me make one thing clear about the Hunt store. We will rebuild the Hunt store very quickly right here in Hunt, Texas.
Thank you, Governor.
Also, I too want to thank all the first responders, and we have many of our legislators over here. I want to thank them for stepping up and being here constantly, as well as state officials who join with us. And as we've said before, we remain committed. We're here for the long run. We will maintain our operations to search and find everybody that we can, as well as ensure that we're going to rebuild this community from Hunt to Camp Mystic to Kerrville down below. We are committed for the long run, not just to rebuild, but to rebuild in a better way. I have received a lot of detail, even from the President himself, about ways that we can do a better job in the rebuilding process, and we will put all of that to work. We have a special session beginning in 10 days when we're going to start working legislatively to make sure that we address every challenge that the people of this entire region, including the Central Texas region, make sure we help rebuild the families and communities of all of them. But we would not have been able to do that the way that we have had it not been for you, your commitment to Texas. I know you love Texas, and Texas loves you. We appreciate you showing up, and because of your swift and effective response, we're better positioned to deliver on all those commitments than ever before.
Thank you, Governor. That's very nice. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Christy, would you like to say something? Fantastic job you've done.
Well, Mr. President, I just want to thank you for coming and being here today, and to our First Lady as well. Your heart is evident for the people of Texas, and by you coming here and spending the day and taking the time to spend so much time with the families, I've spoken with many of them over the last several days, and they're so grateful for you that not only are you here to come and walk alongside of them, but to spend time with them and to deploy resources to help support the governor and his team, I think has meant the world, not just to those that are making the decisions, but to all of those down to the ones who have lost their children and are those who are still looking for their children. So that's the hardest part about the situation we have here today, sir, is that when you have a disaster like this, I believe this is an unprecedented event. I haven't heard in my knowledge, know of a flood that happened like this before. So, you know, in our experience, we know that it's at least a 1 in 1,000 year flood that hit this area in an unprecedented way. And emergencies and disasters are always locally executed. The state manages them, and then the federal government comes in and supports that. What what we are doing here, sir, is empowering the state and the local officials to make the best decisions for their people, because they know their people, they know their community, and when they ask, then we come in and support them. So thank you for being a president who trusts people, who lets them use the responsibility that they have to make the best decisions for their families, for their communities, and we come in and we support them in that. So I can't thank you for helping us making such quick decisions, for Nim and his team, and the governor is absolutely fantastic. Every time I picked up the phone and was here, the lieutenant governor was available, the entire team, the Coast Guard and the Border Patrol were absolute amazing resources on the ground immediately, and we've had over 700 different FEMA employees and volunteers here as well that are engaged, and so all of your assets that you have as a federal government are deployed to help this community restore, but also to heal. I would just ask everybody in the room to remember to love on each other too, and to tell stories and memories, and that's how the greatest fear when you lose someone in your life is that people will forget them. So tell the stories that you knew, and write them down and remember them, because nobody wants their loved one that they don't have anymore to ever be forgotten.
Thanks, Christy. Appreciate it. Nim, would you say a few words, please?
Thank you,
Done a
Mr.
fantastic
President.
job working with Christy and everybody else. Thank you. Go
Yes,
ahead.
sir. Thank you both for being here. Our hearts are broken, but they fuel the engine that drives this response for this community. These local first responders are the best in the nation. They put their lives on the line. Our volunteer firefighters that were out there putting their lives on the line, knowing that their homes were at risk. You have the best in the nation right here at the local level. Governor Abbott declared 21 Texas counties for this weather event under a state of disaster declaration. Your immediate declaration for individual assistance and public assistance will help us rebuild and recover. We've had over 2,200 state agency response personnel assisting our local government partners. But Mr. President, here's a staggering number. Over 12,300 volunteers have shown up here out of love to support this community. Just imagine, working 10 hours a day, 7 days into this event right now, that's over 861,000 hours of volunteer support right here. 19 other states have sent resources to us. Secretary Noem, thank you for the coordination and the effort on that. Your team has been phenomenal. We will continue the search nonstop. We will continue debris removal, and we will help this community rebuild. We're ready, sir.
Thank you for a really great job you've done, and the coordination's been incredible with us and everybody else. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Dr. Phil, I see you sitting there, and this might be a time for you to give us some of your words of wisdom, if you would. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I've talked to families and survivors, parents and grandparents, and the truth is, we know psychologically that the number one stressor that we can experience in life is the loss of a child. And the worst situation that we can experience that is when it's sudden and when it's violent. That's the worst thing that can happen stress-wise in life. And it's people say, well, you get over it in time. You will. The truth is, you never get over it. You get through it. And one of the things Secretary Noem was just talking about, no truer words could be said, that it's cathartic to talk about this. And there's a collective consciousness in these communities down here. This is my country here. Texas is home for me. And